UR8 guys, this is GameboyLuke here, your coach for the Bristol City Blazikens, and I am here today with my draft video. In this video, you've seen other YouTubers doing it. We've been talking about the drafts that we pulled from the 2 streams. Just in case you weren't there, we've been going over our picks, why we chose them, and all that kind of stuff. So I will be leaving a link to the UCL Twitter down below, so you guys can go ahead and check out all the videos. I think UCL, the Twitter account, it should be tweeting out all the videos and stuff, and you can basically find any information about the UCL and stuff. And I think we're at almost like 10,000 followers right now, so thank you so much. One thing I gotta say is you're probably wondering, yo, what the heck is going on? Like, sat in Nappy's chair, at his computer recording my draft video, because I have nowhere to record this thing. I can't go in my room because the audio is kind of like it, which is bounce off walls and it sounds horrible and stuff. So I'm kind of sat here doing my draft video in Nappy's chair, and it is an honor to sit in the throne, might I add. Oh my god, this seat. My lumbar. Oh my god. Anyways, so I've got a list of all the Pokemon I chose. I don't really... as most of you know, I'm not a crazy competitive Wi-Fi battler. So when it comes to the UCL, I'm here to have some fun. I'm here to learn. That's one of the most important things. And some of the picks I've chosen are kind of gonna be, I don't know the reasoning behind some of them. I guess I try to tie off one after the other, but some of them maybe I might not even have a reason for. I might just be like, yeah, I like this Pokemon. So without further ado, why don't we just dive straight into it? So I think these are actually in order too. So the first Pokemon I got, and as you can see, I do have Showdown pulled up right here, so you can see all the Pokemon we picked. I can show the Pokemon we picked with base stats and potential movesets and stuff like that. But I don't want to go into too much information because I know a few of my fellow UCL competitive enemies, competitive co-players are gonna be watching these videos. So I see you, big dog, trying to scope me out and stuff with some movesets and stuff, and I won't be going into too much detail just because of that. But I'm gonna go ahead and take my first pick right here, which is Scizor, which is also my Mega Evolution. So actually what I am gonna do is I'm gonna change this Pokemon to my Mega, just so we get some base stats on the Mega Scizor, because although Scizor can be used in various different ways, I will probably mostly be using Scizor as a Mega Pokemon because its stats are absolutely incredible. If I just remove this and I add plain Scizor real quick, just so we can compare the base stats, because we have Mega Scizor with like base 140 defense, and my main, the first thing I wanted to do when it came to OU pools, I was like, I need to get myself a Mega. So I need to get myself on the playing field in terms of Megas, because we all knew that most of the Megas and most of the most popular Pokemon were going to be picked during that first scroll through. And I think I was like 4th or 5th during that first draft. So I managed to scoop Scizor up really early. I really wanted Scizor because he's one of my favorite Pokemon. I do love Scizor a lot, and he has so much competitive presence in Wi-Fi, and considering we're playing mixed Wi-Fi, because we have like 3 Pokemon from OU, 3 Pokemon from UU, RU, and NU, he would definitely be an asset to the team. But I've actually been playing with some of these Pokemon in Showdown too, and they are definitely working for me. And one thing I like about Scizor, and you're going to hear me saying this a lot about a lot of Pokemon, and it was because a lot of my Pokemon, I wanted to make sure that the ones I chose could be used in various different ways. So if I battled one person with one set, and I went to battle the next person, I could then change the set of that Pokemon to something else, so they can't predict what I'm going to go for. Although most Pokemon kind of, they kind of run similar sets across each one, so you can get a general idea of which set is going to be what and stuff like that. But Scizor can be run offensively with base 150 attack after it Mega Evolves with Technician Bullet Punch is incredible. Bug Bite is absolutely ridiculous. I found that a lot of people sleep on Bug Bite. It's 60 power, so if you consider Technician, that's 90 plus Stab plus if I manage to get any Sword Stances up, which another thing that Scizor does. There's a lot of people switch out on Scizor. And it gives you a chance to set up a Sword Stance, and once you get a Sword Stance on Scizor, Bullet Punches and Bug Bites are going to do incredible amounts of damage. His speed isn't incredibly high, which is why the priority Bullet Punch is always good, but if you can predict the switch, if you can switch at the right time, Bug Bite is always a really good move to have. And even with the defense stat of 140, and a special defense stat of 100, which isn't too bad, you can take a hit and even go for a Bug Bite and still be able to deal some damage. Which is incredible. And of course, Scizor does also get knockoff, and he gets superpower, so we get some coverage right there. I know some people have drafted Eviolite Chansey and Eviolite Porygon too, so knockoff will be incredibly useful to have for Scizor. Now, Scizor also, his moveset is pretty... Can I go to his moves? Is pretty diverse. to say the least. Normally, oh, another thing I need to mention is you can use Defog with Scizor as well. So he is also a Pokemon that can get rid of hazards for me. Granted, he gets rid of my hazards too, because it does count for the whole stage, or the whole playing field. But if I'm in dire need, I need to get rid of hazards. Defog is going to be really useful. And fun fact, I haven't watched anybody else's draft videos at the moment yet, so I'm kind of just winging it. You know what I mean? But Scizor is definitely, I'm very happy that I got this Pokemon. I could have potentially picked like a lower tier Mega, like Camerupt or something like that, which I was considering, and then maybe running Scizor as is. And I could even run Scizor without a Mega Stone. I can run him with like leftovers. I'm not sure. I mean, a Life Orb, Choice Band maybe, because his base attack is 130, so his attack goes up by 20 when he Mega Evolves, and his defense stat goes up by 50. It goes up by over a half, or it goes up by a half when he Mega Evolves. So Scizor becomes more of a defensive tank when he Mega Evolves, and he also has more attack too. So I don't know. Scizor seems like a really good Pokemon. I'm really happy that I pulled him. Although he's kind of quite linear. He's either oh no, actually, you know what? You can run like a physical sweeper. You can run bulky sweeper too. Like, because you wouldn't need any investments in speed because he's not that quick. So if you put all your investments in like HP, or all your investments in defense, he can be a bulky sweeper because that attack stat is incredible. You can run an adamant with defense. I don't know. He's just so versatile. He's like he's a beast, and I really do. I'm happy that I got Scizor. The next one I got was Dragonite. Now I spoke to a lot of people after I pulled Dragonite, and a lot of people were like, yo, I didn't even think about Dragonite. Dragonite wasn't even on my radar, aside from a couple of people that I know wanted him, or they were like lower picks, but I scooped up Dragonite straight away, because Dragonite is really good. Multi-scale and weakness policy can give you the chance to sweep a team instantly, and there have been times where I've been on Showdown and practicing with Dragonite, and I've been able to maybe get a Dragon Dance off with the multi-scale, maybe get a couple off even, because, you know, you switch in, you bring a Dragonite in, a lot of people are like, yo, this might be Choice Band, and he can kill me right now, so they switch out, and I just like, alright, I'll D-Dance. So that's like instant stats right there, and then with the multi-scale, I get a chance to D-Dance again if I want to be greedy, and I'm then free to just go in and just destroy everything with Dragonite, because Outrage and Dragon Claw are two different Dragon type moves that I can choose. Outrage is good, but I have to be wary that it does confuse me. So potential use for Lum or Persimberry is there. Another option is to run Leftovers, because if you run Leftovers and you take a bit of damage, you can get your HP back up to multi-scale, or even run Roost, so you can get your multi-scale back. Because as you can see from his abilities, a multi-scale is his hidden ability, sorry. And like I said, with the item, you can run Lefties, you can run Lumberry, you can run Choice Band. You can even run Assault Vest. If you really wanted to be that guy, you can run Assault Vest and maybe try and swallow an Ice Beam or two. But he's definitely a very good Pokemon, and he can be run a couple of different ways too. So like I said, you can run Dragon Dance sets, you can run Choice Banded sets. I've never really seen a bulky Dragonite, but apparently he gets Defog. So maybe Defog Dragonite could be a thing. There he does get Dragon Tail too, so maybe we could use him to kind of use the multi-scale to stop any sweepers from coming in. They hit me with an attack, I survive because of multi-scale, and I can Dragon Tail them out if they have like 5 stat upgrades, even though I try and prevent that from happening. But that's an option there. He gets Extreme Speed too, which is top priority. Extreme Speed has 1 extra priority in comparison to Bullet Punch and Quick Attack. You can get Quick Attack from Pinsir, Bullet Punch on Bullet Punch on Scizor. We can get Ice Shard from Weavile. So Extreme Speed is good, because if you have a Dragonite and a Weavile will always go first because of Ice Shard, but if you carry Extreme Speed, you're going to outspeed the Weavile and be able to hit it. So if you have the Choice Band, or if you have Dragon Dance, that's going to do some nice damage, because you consider his attack stat is 134. That's pretty incredible. So, is the base attack 134? If I go to Adamant, does that go up? Yeah, so the attack, that's what the attack stat could be looking at 403. But I guess most of the time we'd run Jolly, because you need that speed investment to maybe keep up. After a Dragon Dance, your speed would then increase and you'd be able to outspeed a lot of people. I even remember Joey saying something about running Special Dragonite, or you can run a Dragonite that has Draco Meteor as well as Dragon Claw and Earthquake and stuff like that, because his base special attack's 100, which is the same as like Mew and Jirachi and stuff like that, so it's definitely, excuse me, an option right there. The only thing that beats Dragonite is obviously if you have a Stealth Rocks up, the multi-scale is going to break instantly. So I did, as soon as I picked Dragonite, I was like, at this point, I know I have Scizor for default, but he's not very quick. I need something that can get rid of the rocks, or I need a second Pokemon that can get rid of rocks and hazards, because you can't rely on one Pokemon, otherwise when you make teams, you're like, okay, I need someone to get rid of rocks. Scizor. So Scizor will end up being in every single team, and it'll be obvious at what he's running. So if I can switch between one Pokemon and another, that would be good. Especially after picking my next pick, which was Thundurus. And not Thundurus incarnate, it's Thundurus Therian. So if you look at this thing special, it's 145 special attack, which is insane. That's ridiculous. And he has 101 base speed, which is really, really good, because that's one more than Jirachi and Mew. So if I was to run a Choice Scarf on this thing, if I'm running Timid, which I'm pretty sure Jirachi usually runs Jolly, I think, because if you have Jolly, you can then Zen Headbutt and Iron Head, you have the extra speed. If I ran Timid Thundurus, I'm faster than Jirachi after Choice Scarf. So that means I get to outspeed Mo, and I think Thundurus can learn some pretty cool moves too. Learns Dark Pulse, so I mean, if you're trying to flinch me, Mo, it's not gonna happen. He has Knockoff too. Nasty Plots. There's also the Nasty Plots that you can run with Thundurus, which I'm going way too in detail. I feel like people are watching my video right now and being like, alright, I'm trying to write all these down, or what possible sets you're gonna run, but fuck it, I don't care. I'm just having fun, so I might switch things up later on. But yeah, but this Pokemon Thundurus T gets some crazy ass coverage. He gets Volt Switch too, I think. Yeah, he gets Volt Switch and U-Turn, so I have the freedom to say come in. And with a base 145 special attack, I can Volt Switch, and that's going to hurt somebody. And providing that I'm not a ground type and I have Volt Absorb, Volt Switch is going to hurt somebody. And obviously if they have resistances and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, Volt Switch is going to definitely be a threat, because you could bring in Thundurus and it will predict you to go for an attack. Or they try and switch in a Pokemon that they feel is going to absorb the attack or take it better. You can Volt Switch and then get free switching and then counter their next Pokemon, which is really good. One thing about Thundurus, I noticed, I was like, okay, so I picked 2 flying types and a bug steel. I need, and like I said, I need a rapid spinner, or I need another defogger to cover my back. And I also thought, I have Volt Absorb, so that sets me up for my next pick. Because I knew as soon as I saw UU, I was like, I need to pick up Suicune. And luckily enough, I think I got first pick in UU, and the first Pokemon I got was Suicune, because Scizor is good for physical bulk, really good for physical bulk, and Suicune is also really good for physical bulk, but Suicune gets Calm Mind. So if I go to his stats real quick, his special defense and defense are equal, but if I invest in defense with a bold, and I get a chance to go for Calm Mind a couple of times, he's going to be rocking, because he's going to have base, what's he going to have? If we are Bold Nature, if we ran Bold Nature Suicune, he's going to be at 361. Jesus Christ. He's going to be at 361, and then what I'm probably run, maybe if you ran HP at the 404 HP, you're then free to go for Calm Minds, which are going to increase, and increase, and increase, and increase, and it's going to eventually meet the defense stat, especially with that HP. That's going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy. Suicune is very good, and a lot of people hate Suicune just because he takes so many hits, especially after you get a couple of Calm Minds up, he takes so many hits. So a couple of sets that you can run with him, you can learn Scald. So that's a good move to stop physical sweepers like Mega Pinsir. We can stop other Scissors, but I mean, I'm the only one with Scissor, so never mind that. Scald is also good to burn, say, Garchomp. 9 times out of 10, I do run Suicune with other moves as well as Scald, because I have like 6 Suicunes in my box, and each one has like a different set. And I run offensive Suicune, I can run defensive Suicune, specially defensive, physically defensive. Crocoon, the standard Crocoon set obviously is gonna happen at some point, because obviously if you get the rest, Sleep Talk, and you can still attack whilst you're asleep, or even run Resto Chesto. So Suicune is definitely a very diverse Pokemon, a very bulky Pokemon, which is something I really needed with the team. Scizor, I do want to run defensively, but I also want him to run offensively, which is another reason why I got Suicune, because I can say, okay, well, if I want to run Scizor physically, I can now run Suicune defensively to, you know, counter that, which is really good. Another thing is, obviously, thinking about weaknesses as well. I was thinking Fire types destroy Scizor. I need something that is going to be able to resist that, and, you know, Dragonite is there, but at the same time, a lot of Fire-type Pokemon I feel like can get second moves that can deal with Dragonite. Say, for example, Darmanitan can Flare Blitz a Scizor, he can then Rock Slide a Dragonite, or, I don't know, they can run HP Ice if they're a special attacker or something. So I needed something like Suicune to scare away Fire-type Pokemon, excuse me, and also to scare away stuff like Landorus, which I know, Jesus, excuse me again, Shady has Landorus T. So Suicune is a really good Pokemon to face against that, because I can either Scald Burn it or I can Ice Beam it, and that will, you know, that's it, that's game over. Another thing with the Thundurus, actually going back to Thundurus, is, you know, Hidden Power Flying as well for Venusaur, which is really useful. I need to face Patterrz and his bulky ass, so that's the thing. Suicune is a really good Pokemon though. I'm waiting for if War Absorb got released. Oh, that'd be so good. That'd be so good. But with Suicune now, I can actually use that to predict electric attacks and go into Thundurus, and maybe get some HP back if Stealth Rocks are up. I can then go into Thundurus, take Stealth Rocks damage, get some more HP back with the electric, which is with Volt Absorb, which is really good. Do need to be cautious of Joey though, because he has Mega Ampharos and he has Mold Breaker, so any Volt Switch or Thunderbolts he throws at me, I won't be able to switch into Thundurus, because, you know, Mold Breaker ignores the ability when using attacks, so Volt Absorb won't even do anything, which sucks, but it's definitely a good pull there. I'm sure I'll figure out one way to deal with that Ampharos. But the next Pokemon I did manage to scoop up was Roserade, which I love. Another really good Pokemon that can be run both specially defensive and specially offensive, because if you look at his base stats, special defense stat goes up to 105, which is pretty good. It's not incredible, but the fact that it's a grass type scares away a lot of water Pokemon. It scares away a lot of ground rock Pokemon, like, for example, Nexus is Rhyperior. This thing can also be run with Hidden Power Fire, so I can counter Steel types with it as well, potentially. And the other good thing about Roserade is, one thing I've been doing a lot, is running it with Toxic Spikes, because Toxic Spikes are annoying as fuck. Because as soon as you get 2 layers up, you're set. They are going to be Toxic Poisoned, and there's nothing they can do about it, unless they have some kind of, you know, natural cure, or they have Aromatherapy on one of their Pokemon. Toxic Poison is a bitch, because they realize after being like 3 turns into the battle, they're going to start losing a lot of HP. And that is, that in my eyes is really, really, really important, because, you know, chip damage is always a good thing to have. He gets the ability's Natural Cure, which would be good for running a defensive Roserade, because if someone, I can then use him to, or use her to take up Will-O-Wisp, take up Paralysis, and then switch him back out afterwards to, you know, cure the status. And we also get Technician too. So Technician will be able to boost moves like Magical Leaf, which I'm pretty sure we get. We don't get Magical Leaf? I swear we get Magical Leaf. Yeah, we do get Magical Leaf. So Magical Leaf is there. It's base power 60, so it doesn't miss. That will boost up to like 90 base power. What other moves do we get? Hidden Power Fire, which is 60 damage as well, which will also be increased. What else do we have here with 60 power? Actually, I think that's it. I think that is it in terms of Magical Leaf is there. We have Round. We have Venoshock, but that's not it. We have Weather Ball. But that's about it for those two. I guess those two moves are the only things that would be greatly affected by Technician. Hidden Power. We have Extrasensory. We can learn Extrasensory, Energy Ball. Like I said, there's no point running Energy Ball because we can learn Magical Leaf. So, I mean, if there's the Energy Ball, then why would we run Technician at the same time, I guess? So it's definitely the only move that would really be affected by it would be the Hidden Power, because, you know, base power, base 90 power, Hidden Power Fire would be really, really useful. But I guess I have Sizzle, so I guess I'm just trying to think of Pokemon that maybe Pinsir, and I know I think Mo has Scyther, so maybe that could be a thing. But yeah, Roserade can be run a few different ways, which I really, really like. Choice Scarf is a thing because the base 90 speed is nice, and if we were to run Timid, that's going to be 306, so we'd be like 450 speed, which would catch a few people off guard. If we ran Technician on that one, we could have, you know, fucking Hidden Power Fire, Shadow Ball, Extrasensory, Magical Leaf, or, you know, stuff like that, which is always really, really useful. So an offensive grass and poison, like Sludge Bomb is a good thing. Another reason I wanted Roserade is to counter for the Fairy types. Now, I do have Sizzle, which is really good because he absolutely decks like Mega Altaria, which I know Twit has. Bullet Punch just rinses through Fairy type Pokemon. That Technician, if I can get Swords Dance up, it rinses through them. And then if I need to, I can go to Roserade to absorb any any Fairy attacks, and then go for Sludge Bomb, which is really, really, really good. So I'm very happy with the fact that we got Roserade. Very happy with the fact we got Roserade because it is a very, very good UU Mon. And again, most of the Pokemon that I picked are just favorites of mine, except for Thundurus. I don't know, I guess I like Thundurus, I just never had the chance to use him. I just picked Thundurus because I was scrolling through the tiers, and I think I got quite a high slot. So by the time I got to my second pick, I was like, I need Dragonite. And then when it got to the end, it was just like picking up the scraps at OU, and I decided to go for Thundurus T, I guess for Volt Absorb. So there's that. So if we go over to the Skizzer, and then go into our next pick, which was Azelf. I'm very happy with the fact we got Azelf, because his base speed is 115, which is amazing to start off with, and his special attack and physical attack are the same, which I didn't even realize till now. So we can run a physical Azelf if we need to with Explosion, because I know he gets Explosion. Knockoff is a thing. What other moves does he get? Ice Punch, yo, Ice Punch would be good. If we run a physical Azelf, Ice Punch would be great to get rid of those Dragon types, and I always get faced with Lando. Well, I know I'm going to be facing Lando when it comes to Shady, so maybe Ice Punch. I don't think we get Ice Beam. We don't get Ice Beam, so Ice Punch might have to be a thing. I know Landorus has the Intimidate, but Ice Beam is definitely a thing. He has Zen Headbutt, Thunder Punch, Psy Shock, Miracle. He has Nasty Plot, so we can even run a Nasty Plot in Azelf. Because a lot of Azelfs run Stealth Rock, which is one of the main reasons I scooped up Azelf in the last second. I was going to get Infernape before I got sniped by Shady. But Azelf can learn Stealth Rock, so he can be a good lead Stealth Rocker. He learns Taunt, so that's good. He can learn Knockoff, and he can learn Flamethrower, so I can get past like what is it, Ferrothorn and stuff like that. I did try and run Azelf with Psyshock before, but it isn't too good, or Psychic, because it doesn't really work. Flamethrower is really good because it gets rid of a lot of say walls that say for example if I didn't have a Fire type on my team, I just run Azelf in the back and then just pop out and be like, Flamethrower your ass. So that's a good thing from Azelf. I said Miracle, I think it's Magico. Nasty Plot, if we want to try and run Nasty Plot, that could be a thing. We can run a Timid one and get you know, our base 115 speed. So if we were to run Timid, his base speed rises to like 361, which is incredible. Incredible indeed. So we could run you know, yo, that's madness. Look at that attack. Special attack 349. So if I was to run Naive, so I could use both, instead of, what's Naive? Naive speed up and special defense down. So we could use both physical attacks and special attacks. And that's only 60 points down. So I could run a mixed Azelf if I wanted to. Throw Knockoff on there and Flamethrower. Two great moves to have on the Azelf right there. We can run Focus Sash, so I can lead with him. Go for Stealth Rocks, and then maybe even pull an Explosion afterwards. We could run, what's the other one? Is it Hasty? We could run, no, not Hasty. We want... Oh no, we can run Naive still. We can still run Naive and then just put the points in physical attack instead of special attack, right? Because that's plus speed. Yes, we can run the physical attack one and go for Explosion and all kinds of stuff after getting our Stealth Rocks up, which I think is called the Suicide Lead. So that's a really good pick. I do like Azelf, and I'm very happy with our first 6 picks. As you can see right here, these are our first 6 picks: Scizor, Dragonite, Thundurus, Therian, Suicune, Roserade, and Azelf, which I'm very pleased with. I could have probably picked up a better Pokemon. I could have gone with Infernape instead of Azelf, so I could get like a Fire-type Pokemon at the same time. Because if you look, let's have a look. I'm trying to think of like weaknesses right now, and I think the only real proper weakness I have is Ice, with 3 Pokemon weak to it, and Skizz is the only Pokemon that can counter against it. But then again, we have Azelf with Flamethrower, so Infernape was a good choice. It would have been a good choice because he has the Fighting and he has the Fire too. And the Priority Map Punch, you get Stealth Rocks up, you can run Overheat, you can run it mixed. But it is a shame that we didn't scoop him up, but I'm honestly not too disappointed with the fact we got Azelf, because Azelf is a really good Pokemon, and I wanted to get him before Nappy got him, because I know Nappy does like Azelf. So, with that, that's our first 6 picks. So what I am going to do is go ahead, can I clear this? I'm just going to go ahead and delete these real quick. So that's the first 6 picks that we were able to get. The next Pokemon I managed to scoop up from RU, which was the next day, and a little bit more preparation time, was Ambipom. Now I chose Ambipom because Ambipom can be a real nuisance. He can just come in, fake out, and then get the back out, and just back out with U-turn or something like that. Because he does get Technician, he does get Skill Link too, which I think is good for like Fury Swipes and stuff. But not really. At the same time, I know you can run normal gem fake out and then go with acrobatics afterwards, which is like 110 damage, stab 110 damage. Because if you look at his base stats, he has 115 speed, which is the same as Azelf. I think So I can run a jolly ambipom, and one thing that catches people off with ambipom is ice punch, because you can run him in with ice punch. You can get the you have the incredible speed, and you can either switch it on a Lando and ice punch it and take it down, or you can switch it on a Garchomp or on a Salamence, because the speed is there. Provided they haven't Dragon Danced, if you run jolly, our speed's gonna go up to like 361, I think. So if I bring the jolly up, 361 speed, which is incredible, to say the least. And with a base stack of like 100. Then that's as good as like Jirachi and stuff. So if you think, you know, if I run him Life Orb, we got Fake Out. He learns Fake Out. What other moves do we get that were boosted by Tennis? We have Aerial Ace, which is We can run Brick Break if we need to. He learns Gunk Shot too. I found he learns Gunk Shot. So if we don't have any Pokemon set on Fairy types, we have Gunk Shot as a backup. Ice Punch, like I said, is a good thing. He learns Knock Off too. Another Technician move he learns is Power Up Punch. Maybe if I got confident, I could try and run Ambipom with Power Up Punch, which I like again. When it comes to Pokemon choices, these Pokemon can be run in so many different ways, which is really, really good. He learns Seed Bomb for whatever reason, Shadow Claw, Thunder Punch, U-Turn, which is really, really good, and he can learn Counter. Don't tell anybody, that's a good idea. We could totally do that at some point. Let's Headbutt. We could run Headbutt and try and flinch people out. Rain Dance? Maybe Rain Team? Who knows? Shockwave? I know he has Nasty Plot because he learns Water Pulse and stuff, which are boosted by Technician, so he could potentially go with Shockwave, Water Pulse, and Nasty Plot, maybe. Learns Dynamic Punch, Focus Punch, you know, all these kind of moves. So there is some good viability with Ambipom. He can be a lead. He can be a lead Pokemon. He could just piss a couple of people off because you could lead with Ambipom, Fake Out people, U-turn, and that's like you're good 40% damage done to the opponent already. And that's good chip damage, because then you can come in and sort people out. Actually, 1 second, go back to Azelf, because one thing I do know about Thundurus is that he's a good late game sweeper. I found that out myself. And if you have Stealth Rocks up or Toxic Spikes, and you have you go into the late game with Pokemon that are damaged, even with Ambipom, like I said, you can fake out people, get their health knocked down a little bit, and then come back and then be like, okay, so I've lost my Ambipom now, but the rest of his team have like 70 to 60% health. You can come into Thundurus, even without a Choice Scarf, you can just go in and Thunderbolt everything, or use a secondary move to take down the Pokemon that are ground types by running HP, Grass, or something, and just clean up the playing field. Thundurus is to get good late game sweeper, and I feel like actually thinking of that now, Ambipom is a really good Pokemon to be paired with Thundurus, because he can come in and do the chip damage, and Thundurus can come in later on and clear up. So that's a good Pokemon to have, definitely a good Pokemon to have right here. So next on the list, we do have a Pokemon that I felt I needed, being Hitmontop. Now I kind of hoped that Hitmontop was going to learn Stealth Rocks, which he doesn't get, unfortunately, but one thing he does get is Intimidate. Now, Intimidate is something I really, really wanted on the team. I couldn't think of any Pokemon in RU to get Intimidate except Hitmontop, and I think a couple other people, because I was going to try and scoop up Arcanine and UU, but Patterrz got him first, so I couldn't scoop that up. But Hitmontop does get Intimidate, and this Pokemon counters, well, not necessarily counters, but he puts Landorus in check, because Landorus can't do shit, because if I Intimidate it, it can Earthquake me, but it's only going to do like 10%, 15% at the most, which is really, really useful. One thing he does get is Ice Punch, I think. He doesn't get Ice Punch. So he doesn't get Ice Punch, so I can't even counter, I can't even counter, Landorus. And a lot of people use Close Combat with Hitmontop, which I guess is really, really good, because the accuracy is 100%. The only thing you lose from it is your attack, your defense and special defense stats, which kind of sucks. But he does get priority moves like Bullet Punch. I know he also gets Fake Out. He gets, Sucker Punch, High Jump Kick, which is 130 damage instead of 120, like compared to Close Combat. He gets Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Sucker Punch, like I said, and his attack stat isn't terrible, but his defense and special defense stats are really, really good, considering he's like, you know, an RU-mon. So if you bring him out, Intimidate Pokemon, his defense stat doesn't have to be incredible because he's already got that initial defense drop. So if you run Impish on the Hitmontop run the HP and the defense, we're gonna have 304 hit points with 317 defense, especially with the Intimidate drop. And our special defense isn't even all that bad either, because we are like 257. So that's a good Pokemon to have. It can be quite annoying because you can come in with Fake Outs, and if I wanted to, I could even run him offensively, because he is quite bulky. So if I want to run an Adamant, his attack stat is gonna be something like, I don't know, if I can bring this defense down, we keep his max HP, he can be like a bulky attacker, and we can have him chilling here with 317 attack, go for a few moves like high jump kick, earthquake, fake out, rock slide, stone edge. So Hitmontop is a really good Pokemon. I'm really happy that I scooped him up, because Rapid Spin, I did, like I said, I needed a second Pokemon that can clear the hazards away from the field, like fake out, not fake out, what the hell, like stealth rocks and toxic spikes, or original spikes and sticky webs, because I know Kristen's got Galvantula. You don't want to have your speed reduced, because that's a pain in the ass. So we have Hitmontop to now cover for that, which is really good. Next on the slide, next on the team, we have Typhlosion. Now I completely forgot the hidden abilities for the second gen starters got released, and we do have the access to Flash Fire now, which is a good Pokemon to pair up with maybe Roserade, because if someone's going to throw a fire attack at me, I can just switch into Typhlosion, and I can get my HP, or Typhlosion can get his Flash Fire up, and then if max HP, he learns Eruption. Now, Eruption is a fucking awesome move, as it does like crazy, like 150 damage, 150 power if you're on max HP. So if I was throwing choice specs, if I was maybe potential for another Pokemon that can reduce speed, like if we can paralyze a few people, we can bring in a choice specs Typhlosion. And if a choice specs Typhlosion, we can get the special attack up like this. We go Modest, 348 damage. Choice specs Eruption is going to destroy so many Pokemon. The only problem is that Typhlosion would obviously have to get the first attack, so I would need the Pokemon to be paralyzed. So I maybe need to scoop up a Pokemon that can either learn Sticky Webs, or I get a Pokemon that can run, move quick and paralyze Pokemon, so I can bring in Typhlosion later on and late game sweep everybody with a Choice Specs Eruption, which is, excuse me, a definite option right there. And if my voice is breaking, it's because it's quite late. Nappy actually left to take Sadie to his parents' house, because obviously we're going to SGC, if you didn't already know, and I'm kind of trying to beat this really quick before he gets back. But anyways, we, Typhlosion, we can run Eruption. I know he gets Focus Blast. We get Solar Beam if I maybe can run a Sun Team. If I don't know, I don't think the Sun Team is there, because we have Sizzle, we have Roserade, which are gonna counteract us. But we can get Hidden Power Grass, Fire Blast. What other? Do you learn Earth Power? I feel like you don't learn Earth Power. Extrasensory, Overheat if we needed it, and we also get like Thunder Punch and stuff. But I don't think it's yeah, Physical Attack's not all that great. Excuse me. So. Typhlosion was definitely and when I scooped Typhlosion up, I know Nappy wanted him, so I'm happy that I got Typhlosion. He's a really good Pokemon, and he's a good Pokemon in specific situations, and it depends if I can get him in that situation in order to really do work with him. So it's very situational. But if maybe I can bring him up some tiers if I use Choice Scarf, because if I can outspeed some people, then we might even be able to. Yeah, we better get our speed stat to just below 500, so that's definitely gonna 500. Yeah, just below 500, so we can then Eruption stuff. And I know a lot of Pokemon aren't going to enjoy many eruptions from a Typhlosion, that's for sure. So let's have a look, see who's next on the thing. We have a Weezing. Okay, now this Weezing was a bit of a tactical pick, because as you can see, we do have a physical defense. Sizzle. We have Hitmontop too, so we got a couple of bulky mons, and I'm not the sort of guy to run a lot of bulky Pokemon. We have Weezing. Now I do like Weezing. Weezing's a really good Pokemon, but the main reason I picked Weezing was because I was just picking before PK, and I didn't want PK to have him because his team is pretty strong. He's got the Feraligatr. Let me look at the text document that I was just sent in this group right here, which is probably going to open up a new Google window, so just ignore that, you didn't see that. So let's go down to PK. PK has Garchomp, he already has Skarmory, which is incredibly physical. He has Snorlax, Steelix, Trevenant, Garbodor, and obviously he picked Garbodor because he couldn't get Weezing, but his team is pretty bulky as it is, and I guess I didn't want him to have Weezing, so I kind of just scooped that up, call me a dick, but that was a bit of a tactical pick for me. And I actually wanted to get, my first pick was going to be Tangler, and Nappy knows I like Tangler, so he managed to grab him, and now I'm pretty much forced to switch with Nappy, so I'm going to have to, after week 1's complete, you can basically confirm a trade between me and Nappy, because I kind of want Tangler. Tangler, people sleep on Tangler so much, I'm telling you. Once we get traded Tangler, I'll make like a 5-minute video saying why I have Tangler. I'll be like, yo, I just did trade with Nappy, and this is why I wanted Tangler, because his defense stat is incredible, and if you slap an Eviolite on it, shit, it's a really good Pokemon. So, Weezing, honestly, I don't really want to talk about him too much because I don't really plan on using him. After week 1, I'll probably just trade with Nappy and get Tangela. But, you know, Weezing is a really good Pokemon as well. Definitely something I'll have to be worried about when I look at Nappy's team. Because, honestly, as much as I want my Tangela, looking at Nappy's team is pretty, where is it? Nappy. Because he has Chansey already, Gastrodon, Quillfish, and Cradily. So he already has some pretty bulky mons too. The only thing with Weezing is with my team. With Weezing, Thunderous T is going to destroy Weezing, as well as Roserade with extra sensory, and I can run Psychic on Azelf if I need to get rid of Weezing. So I guess he's not that much of a threat to me. The physical presence of Weezing will definitely bother my Scizor, no matter what team it is. So I kind of want to keep him, but then again, if he picks Weezing, I'll probably count that in comparison to other Pokemon he has, like Gastrodon, where I'd need to get Roserade out. But yeah, Weezing was that pick just because. And then finally, I really wanted to get at least one Rotom for my team, and I planned from the start to get Rotom Fan. I'm glad no one chose him, because that's what we're getting. We're getting Rotom Fan real quick, and all the Rotom forms have the same base stats. So to pick up a Rotom form in NU is really good because he is bulky. He can take the same hits as like Rotom Wash can. It's just Water's a better defensive typing in comparison to Rotom Fan, which is flying. Because what's super effective against? What does this resist? It resists fighting moves, which is really good. I don't really have any Pokemon that are weak to fighting, which is kind of sucky. But he's completely immune to ground. Because, you know, it's Levitate and Flying type. But if anyone has Mold Breaker, then Earthquake is gonna, you know, it's still gonna miss the Rotom Fan. What other things does he have? What other things does he resist? Bug, which might be good for facing... Oh wait, never mind. I was going to say facing Pinsir, but he gets Aerialate, which still resists, I guess. What other Pokemon do we... what other moves? Grass? We completely resist Grass, which is really good. Air Slash is going to be a thing, so maybe we'll be able to use this guy when fighting against Patterrz, because we do get Air Slash. Rotom Fan also gets Will-O-Wisp and Thunder Wave, so like I said before, when it comes to late game sweeps with Typhlosion, we might be able to get Rotom Fan out to Thunder Wave a load of Pokemon, and... you know, bring out Typhlosion with Choice Specs and maybe do some late game sweeps with that, which is definitely a thing. You know, Rotom is, you know, everyone knows what Rotom does. He pretty much out-hit a Will-O-Wisp if I need to find a counter. Because actually, that's one thing I didn't have. A Pokemon that can then Will-O-Wisp people, get the burns for any physical attackers. Say, for example, Shady S Landorus. So I could bring Rotom in and Will-O-Wisp the shit out of any of his physical attackers, completely body them. And I have to be very wary of, like, Nappy's Chansey because it can run Aromatherapy. So, but still, Rotom Fan with Will-O-Wisp, I can run Choice Scarf or Lefties or something like that. Which would be really good with the Will-O-Wisp and stuff. But he can also put in with the Air Slash because we can get chances to flinch. Discharge is also really good because we can also get some paralysis if I can't burn them if they're already fire type. You know, bring out Discharge and get paralysis on that. Also gets Foul Play. Now that is something I completely forgot about. Because Foul Play could be really useful if I'm fighting a Pokemon that is gonna come back at me with like, I don't know, +3 attack. If someone's able to get out like loads of Swords Dances, like for example, I don't know, like Dragon Dance Pokemon like Garchomp. I mean, maybe it's not that great. And we can just run Will-O-Wisp instead of Foul Play, but the option is definitely there. We can run Signal Beam for Psychic and Dark types. Thunderbolt is there. Obviously, we can run Toxic and Trick, so we can potentially trick on a Choice Scarf or Choice Specs onto Pokemon. It would be really good to trick Choice Specs or Choice Scarf on, or Choice Specs specifically onto like Garchomp or something, because his speed, I don't want to give him speed, I don't want to give anything Choice Scarf because I don't want to increase their speed at all. But Choice Specs would be good. Trick onto like a physical sweeper or something like that would be really useful. But I did want to get one Rotom Pokemon. The only problem is these flying types, so we did need, you know, we'd need Hitmontop or we'd need Scizor to defog or Rapid Spin the hazards away, but he is definitely a good pick. I'm glad we got him. And my final pick was actually going to be a Kabutops, because I looked at my team and I was looking, I've got some really good water type Pokemon here. I got some Pokemon that would be good if I had the rain up, because, you know, Scizor can then take a fire type attack, Roserade can then take a fire type attack, and, you know, who else? With, actually, I think that's it. Let me know, we can run Thundurus and Thunder, and Caracosta was my next pick, because Mo managed to get Kabutops, and I was like, shit, I need a Swift Swim Pokemon, because I really wanted Kabutops, because Kabutops is crazy. I managed to get Caracosta right here, because we can run Swift Swim on him. That's his hidden ability. So if we wanted to get a Rain Dance team up, we could run Swift Swim Caracosta with a Focus Sash and Shell Smash, or we can run a Caracosta with White Herb, or we can run Caracosta with Sturdy and Weakness Policy, or something like that. The options are definitely there. The only problem is his base speed is terrible. Like, is terrible. It's 163. If we run Jolly, it puts up to 179. So having Jolly really doesn't make that much difference. It'd be better run Adamant, in all honesty, because then we can put our attack stat to 346. Then after Rain, that's like 320 speed. But if we can get a Shout Smash off at the same time, you know, put that +2, that's going to put us to, like, I don't know, maybe 500, just under 500. Was it 450 or something like that? And then Caracosta is then free to go ahead and sweep, because we can get the only thing that would bother me would be priority, so we can run Aqua Jet on Caracosta, we can run the Waterfall and Stone Edge and stuff like that. He isn't a crazy good Pokemon, but I kind of picked him because what's left in NU? Let's pick something fun to use, and if I can maybe beat someone with a Rain Team, that'd be crazy. And as I said, I'm trying to learn when playing in the UCL. I just want to have fun. I just want to bring some random ass Pokemon like Caracosta and Rotom Fan and stuff, and just be like, I beat you with the Shell Smash Caracosta, how does that make you feel? But that's my picks. I didn't want to make this video too long. That's probably why I've been speaking so fast and trying to get this video done as soon as possible, because I did want to get this up before I went to SGC, because I wouldn't be able to record at all in SGC, and I wouldn't be able to record the video till after I got back, in which our battles would have been up like a few minutes afterwards. But I did the video, so I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope you guys are rooting for the Bristol City Blazikens. Let me know in the comment section below if you are, and please go ahead and leave a leave a like rating down below as well. And don't forget, very, very important, check out the UCL Twitter down below. If you don't have a Twitter, get a Twitter, because Twitter is the best app or best social networking platform to keep up to date with everything you want to know about YouTubers, about the UCL, about other people and stuff. It's amazing. It's a powerful tool, and you can connect with us as well, because, you know, I keep my eyes on Twitter all the time. I have my phone with me all the time, and I'm always reading tweets. So if you want to say something to me, I can, you know, I'll look through the tweets and I'll favorite stuff, and, you know, I'll even reply every now and again. So Twitter is a good thing to have. But like I said, if you guys have enjoyed this video, please do leave a like rating down below, and I will see you in the forthcoming season matches with the Bristol City Blazikens. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.